aside for we as blacks to celebrate our history. So today we have our youth, as they will be coming to you in their own way to give you a biography on how some of the blacks were mistreated back during slavery that helped to pave the way in order for us to be what we are in life today. So today they will be coming. I also have one person that I didn't let anyone take on him, and it was Dr. Martin Luther King. I would just like to cover a little bit of that right this minute. Dr. King, he also was one that helped to pave the way in order for us as blacks to have some of the nicer things that we have in life today. He wanted for all men to be free. He wanted for the black men, the white men, the Jews, the Gentiles, for all of us to come together and to be treated equally. He wanted the blacks and the whites to be able to go to the schools together. He also wanted them to drink from the same fountain. Blacks had the chance to go. He wanted blacks to have the opportunity to go out and be able to vote. So today we give honor to Dr. King for the dream that he had, and we want to keep it alive. Okay, now we're going to start with Jalen Hurd. He will be giving you a biography on Harriet Tubman. I ask that you all listen closely. I ask that you all listen closely to what my kids are telling you, because in order for us to get where we are in life today, we had to go through some things. And these kids are going to tell you this. Listen to the song that's playing. It explains a whole lot in the song as well as what they're trying to tell you. So listen closely.
They also, Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman, she was born into slavery in 1820 to Ben Ross. Her birth name was Armina Harriet Ross. And, she was a Civil War nurse, and she was a activist. And she inducted the Underground Railroad, which she set hundreds of slaves free during her era. And she died on March 10, 1913 of pneumonia. And she was a resident of Auburn, New York, and she is now, her grave site is in Auburn, New York. That's all I have to say about Harriet Tubman.
Thank you, Jalen, for telling us a little bit about Harriet Tubman. Next we will have a biography of Nelson Mandela done by Xavier Hardy.
Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was born on July 18, 1918. His elementary teacher gave him the name Nelson, which means troublemaker. He then married Grace Michelle at the age of 80. He studied law at the University of Witwatersrand in Johannesburg and opened up the nation's first black law firm in 1952. He was on the U.S. terror watch list and was removed until 2008. He was a lawyer and a boxer and spent 27 years in prison for being racist against the white. And he was a father, great-grandfather, and he died on December 5th, 2013 at the age of 95. And that was the life of Nelson Mandela.
Next, we will have a biography on Thurgood Marshall, done by Malik Young.
My biography is on Thurgood Marshall. Thurgood Marshall was born in Baltimore, Maryland on July 2nd, 1908. His father, William, was a railroad potter, and his mother, Norma, was a school teacher, instilled an appreciation for the United States and the rule of law. Marshall attended Frederick Douglass High School, graduated a year early and at the top of his class. After graduating, he went to Lincoln University. While there, he married Vivian Burr in September 1929. They were married until her passing in February 1955. They met and married his second wife, Cecilia, in December of the same year. To this union, 2 sons were born. Marshall went on to Howard University School of Law. He was a lawyer who was best known for his victory in the case of Brown versus Board of Education. Also, an attorney for the NAACP. After being nominated by President Lyndon B. Johnson on August 30th, 1967, Marshall became the 96th Justice of the Supreme Court, the first African American to hold his position. On October 1991, he retired and Clarence Thomas replaced him. On January 24th, 1993, Thurgood Marshall died of heart failure and survived by his 2 surviving sons.
Okay, next we're going to have biography on Rosa Parks done by Bpst.
I'm speaking on Rosa Parks. She was born Rosa Louise McCauley in Tuskegee, Alabama on February 4th, 1913. Her parents were named Leona and James McCauley in Pine Level, Alabama. She was known for not giving up her seat to a white man on the bus in Montgomery. That was on December 1st, 1955. For her not giving up her seat, that started the bus boycott, which lasted 135 days. She then married, before that, she married her husband. Well, that's all.
Next we're going to have biography on Ruby Bridges done by Leah Watson. Today I will tell you the story of Miss Ruby Bridges. Ruby Nell Bridges Hall, born September 8, 1954, in Tylertown, Mississippi, to the parents Lucille and Abon Bridges. She is known for being the first African American child to attend an all-white elementary school in the South. The school she attended was Williams Branch Elementary School. She is known, when she was just 4 years old, her family relocated to New Orleans, Louisiana. At the age of 6, her school and surrounding schools took a placement test to see whether or not they were smart enough to attend a white school. Bridges was chosen 1 out of 6 kids to go to a white school. 3 went to McDowell, 2 decided to stay at the old school, and Bridges went to a school all by herself. In the spring of 1960, her parents answered to the NAACP, which stands for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and volunteered Ruby to be a part of the integration. Her father was very hesitant about the idea, but her mother strongly felt that it was needed, not only to give Ruby the better education that she deserved, but also to make a change in history for all African American children. Integration. On her first day of school, she was escorted by 4 U.S. Marshals, and her mother came along as well. When they arrived at school, it was filled with whites full of hatred, because a black hat came along and they did not want integration. They said mean things to her, and some even tried to spit on her.
Three women were standing outside of the school. One who threatened to poison her, one who threatened to hang her, and the last one who put a black doll in a coffin and told her that was an example of her if she tried to integrate the school. As soon as she entered the school, automatically all the white parents start pulling their children out. And when the teachers had heard that it was a colored enrollment in the school, they refused to teach her just because she was black. On her second day of school, a teacher from up north named Miss Barbara Henry decided to teach her because up north they did not agree with slavery. They were against it, and they treated African Americans the same. Miss Henry taught her as if she was teaching the whole class. Adult life. Bridges is now married to Malcolm Hall with 4 children. She worked as a travel agent for 15 years. Also, she is a philanthropist. A philanthropist is a person who loves to give to others. On July 15, 2012, she got the chance to meet President Barack Obama, and they discussed her picture in the White House as a child as she was going to that school. President Obama said that I thank you guys for making a change in history, because if it hadn't been for you guys, I wouldn't be here today. And those are some of the facts of Mississippi Bridges.
We have they just done some of the people that were here back during slavery. So right now we're going to have some of our youth to come around, and they're going to tell you about some of the current black people that were told that we wouldn't amount to anything, and that some have lived on the bridges. Today they're millionaires. We were told that we wouldn't be anything in life, and we have a lot of our kids that would like to share with you some of the celebrities of today. Next we're going to call the Nature Hightower around, and she's going to tell you a little bit about Oprah Winfrey.
Today I'm speaking on Oprah Winfrey. She was born January 29, 1954 in Kosioko, Mississippi. Her father's name was Vern Winfrey, and he worked in the coal mines. Her mother's name was Vernetta Lee, and she was a housemaid. Oprah also has a stepsister and stepbrother. She was the first black female to host her own talk show called The Oprah Winfrey Show. She was also the first black female billionaire in the United States in 2003. She has played in several movies like The Color Purple, Native Son, Beloved, Charlotte's Web, B-Movie, The Princess and the Frog, The Butler. She is an author, a talk show host, owner of her own TV network, producer, and actress, and much more.
All right.
Okay, next we'll have a biography on Bill Cosby done by Jordan Hurd.
Today I'm doing my biography on William Henry Cosby Jr. People know him as Bill Cosby. He was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1937, July 12. He became an author, a musician, and many more. He was a comedian too, and his noble arts are the Cosby Show, Bill Cosby Show, the Electric Company. Bill Cosby had played a major role in development of African American history. That's what I have on Bill Cosby.
Next we're going to call Alicia Abner around, and she'll tell you a little bit about Tyler Perry.
My biography is on Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry was born September 13, 1969 in New Orleans, Louisiana. He had a difficult childhood, suffering many years of abuse. In 1992, he starred and produced in a musical called I Know I've Been Changed. His 2000 play, I I Can Do Bad All By Myself brought to life the character Medea, who would later star in many performances. Tyler Perry continued to write, produce, and direct. God made a way for Tyler Perry.
Next we're going to have Tanisha, and she will tell you a little bit about Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey was born on January 17, 1957. He's an American actor, comedian, entertainer, radio personality, and author. He is the author of Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, which was published on March 2009. He starred in the shows of The Family Feud and The Steve Harvey Show. In the late 30s, Steve Harvey was homeless for 3 years. He lived in his car and he lived a tight budget.
Today I'll be talking about Al Sharpton. He was born Alfred Charles Sharpton Jr., October the 3rd, 1954, Brooklyn, New York. He is a Democratic Baptist minister, civil rights, social justice activist, radio and television talk show host. Sharpton is considered as a man who is willing to let it like it is, and has the ability and willingness to defy the power structure. And that's what I have about Alfred Charles Jr.
Kennedy Brewer, she'll tell you a little bit about Michelle Obama.
I'll be speaking on Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is the wife of President Barack Obama and our First Lady. Besides being the first African-American First Lady, Miss Obama is also a lawyer. She works hard for military families and focuses on better health law.
Okay, and last we have Cameron Gunn, who will tell you a little bit about Barack Obama.
I'm doing my biography on Barack Obama. Barack Obama is the 44th president and the first African American to hold office. He was born on August 4, 1961, to Barack Sr. and Stan and Dunn. President Obama is married to Michelle Robinson, where he met while working in a Chicago law firm. They were married October 3, 1992, where they have 2 daughters, Malia and Natasha. President Obama has many professions. He's a lawyer, professor, a community organizer, and author. After his national attention during his campaign to represent Illinois, in his election to the Senate, he began his presidential campaign in 2007 and 2008 after a close primary campaign with Hillary Clinton. On January 20, 2009, Barack Obama was inaugurated as President of the United States. He was re-elected in November 2012 and sworn for his second term on January 20, 2013. That's all I have about Barack Obama.
I'm so sorry, Genesis. I looked over you, baby. Come on. Genesis will be doing a biography on Madam C.J. Walker.
I chose Madam C.J. Walker as a hero because I want to write about someone who most people haven't heard about. Walker started her own business. It was the first hair product line for African American women. Madam C.J. Walker was born Sarah B. Love on December 23, 1867 in Louisiana. The first month of her family born free. After her business became successful, she built a huge house near the Hudson River in New York that everyone, including white people, talked about. Madam Walker died at age 51 on May 25, 1919.
we like to thank our kids. Oh, yeah, so come on now. We got somebody here that want to have a word to say.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I heard you guys had a black president. That must be kind of cool. I also heard your kids go to the same school, follow the same rules, and even eat the same food. Now, if I would say anything like that back in my day, they would look at me like I was a fool. Because to live that life could have only been a dream. I mean, for real, that's like, seriously. Ask Dr. King. He dreamed that we could all have the good life and have equal rights. But no, not my friend Malcolm. No, not Malcolm. Malcolm was ready to fight. And honestly, I was on his side. Because they did us wrong. We woke up early in the morning, slaved all day long, working our hands down to the bone. I just couldn't wait for the sun to set so I could see the straw. Not because it was just so pretty, although it was, but they didn't work us that hard after dark. And he mean to tell me I down on the bus the other day. I said wherever I wanted to, laughing out loud, shaking my head, man, thank God for that Rosa Parks. She was just so great. And then Harriet, Tubman that is. She was also great. She refused to let us grow old being a slave. So she told us about this Underground Railroad that would help us escape. That's why it saddens me to say that still to this day, after all the people who died and fight for our freedom, still to this day, we remain as slaves. I bet you say, don't no white man own me, and I ain't attached to no chains. You're not a slave to labor, but you are still attached to chains. Give me a second, let me explain. Your addiction for what is materialistic is blocking your vision to the point where you can't even see that the gift that God has given is salvation. And that's free. You can't even take the first step to freedom because television has shackles on your feet. Cell phones and tablets. All the technology has your hands tied so tight to the point that you can't even reach. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, social media has you attached to that tree. The art of gossip, talking about each other. The art of gossip. The art of gossip. Think about it. Just one second. The art of gossip has your mouth tied tight to the point it's taking your voice that you can't even speak. Then the world has controlled your mind to make you think that you're free. Now, you are still a slave. If there were ever a time to panic, to get nervous, cry, or sweat, the time is now. When the chain of drugs and premarital sex is wrapped around your neck. And the only thing that keeps you safe, the little box called faith. But don't you stumble, and you better not shake, not even a little bit. Because that could be the difference between you getting away and being free or being remembered as a slave. I bet you say that man old and gray, and time don't change. Things are not the same. Now I understand, I'm a believer in progression. And over time, things do change. But let's not forget where we come from and let our history go in vain. We are all slaves to whatever prevents us from praising his name.
Man.
I think we are all slaves, black, white, all race. We are all slaves to whatever prevents us from praising his name. Amen. today when we break these chains, after today when we break these chains, let this poem be concrete into your mind. Because 150 years ago, we embodied slavery, the 13th Amendment. And today, we will do it again for the second time. My name is Arthur Williams. Thank you, Master Spring, for having me here. I appreciate it. And if you break those chains, you shall see me again in heaven. But remember that the only thing that keeps you from getting to your blessing is that chain that is behind it. It got to be tied down. You can't get to that blessing unless you break that chain. Don't ever forget that. You break that chain and I'll see you again. Thank you.
Mr. Arthur Williams come from. Hold up, because he had something to say. And I really thank you, Mr. Arthur Williams, because it was very okay. Now we're going to get ready and start our skit. Everybody, can you please take your places, please? Be patient with us for a second till we get in place.